What is up, YouTube family? So first off, welcome back to the channel. It's been about 4 weeks since I posted up my last video, which was the full day of cheating after the show. We finished up the prep series on YouTube with that video, but we are now 4 weeks or so post-show. It's, let's see, December 5th today. Show day was November 8th. So it's been a minute since I've been on here, but kind of took a little break from it because we were posting a lot of videos, a lot of content. I started that prep series like just around 3 weeks out, and I think I ended up getting up like 12 or 13 videos in that time frame, which was awesome, and really enjoyed that. And now it's been obviously getting back into a rhythm with things post-show, getting back into more of a rhythm with jobs and work, because obviously prep became my big priority there, especially within the last 6 weeks or so leading into the show. So we're getting back into a rhythm. We are now fully back into a rhythm here, about 4 weeks post-show. Things are going really, really well. And so I'm gonna update you guys more on that here in a little bit. But for right now, as you can see, we're at the gym. We are actually gonna be hitting a leg day today. I actually just hit my first working set here on the adductor, and I'm gonna take you guys through the leg day here today. Some differences between some of the leg days y'all saw in some of the prep videos or prep series videos. So we're gonna hit this leg day, take you guys through it, and then we'll update you on where things currently stand right now post-show, what we're currently doing game plan wise, what the future game plan is for competing in 2026, etc. So sit back, relax, enjoy the video, and if you do, of course, please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, would greatly appreciate it. But let's get into this leg day, kill this session, and we'll go from there. All right, so first exercise, just finished up on the adductor. We had 2 total working sets there, 10 to 15 reps, and that was actually an increase on my previous workout, which is great. And that's one thing right now, obviously post-show, more food is implemented in the picture, weight is up, body weight is up, and strength is improving, even though right now we are just cruising. Obviously post-show came off of all supplements, kind of been more of a health phase, cruise phase right now. Got to get some blood work done here at the end of the month, but I digress. Strength is improving drastically right now, which is great, especially considering all supplements have been taken out of the picture. It's just more getting more food in the picture, energy is better, muscles got more glycogen in them, and overall things are going really, really well. So just finished up the adductor to start, moving into abductor now for some glutes here. We have 2 sets, 10 to 15 here as well. And then from there, we'll be moving into a seated hamstring curl. Then we have leg press, then we have a unilateral leg extension, and then we have a lying hamstring curl. So that's kind of the overview of today's workout, but you guys are gonna obviously see coming up here all of the different movements. Already took a look at the adductor there, moving into abductor here, and just overall gonna have a killer session. We started off the workout with 15 minutes on the elliptical. Right now, cardio-wise for myself, I have 3 cardio sessions per week on the elliptical, 30 minutes. I do it typically on like a level 10. Those 30 minutes, I usually burn roughly about 400 to 425 calories or so. Again, doing that 3 times per week. And then later on in the video, when I give you guys the updates on just where everything currently is, game plans, etc., I'll give you guys an update on where food currently is too. And that's most likely going to be in the next video, is going to be a full day of eating to show you guys. And we have some game plans too for YouTube for what I want to do coming into the new year. But again, we'll talk all about that later. Just as I'm in my rest period right now, giving you guys some updates here. But we have to jump in some warm-up sets here, then we'll get into our working sets, and we're going to kill this freaking workout. So let's go.
Elite music.
So adductor and abductor are complete. Supposed to be going into a seated hamstring curl right now, but somebody is on that machine, so we're gonna flip my seated hamstring curl, which is supposed to be now with the lying ham curl that goes at the very end. Just gonna flip those two, and that's actually what my other leg day does anyways. Not a huge deal, but I wanna make sure I get some hamstrings in now because my next movement is a leg press, a heavier leg press. So like having some hamstrings done prior to any kind of more compound style movement with a lot of knee flexion, because it's good to have the hamstrings warmed up. Makes the knees feel much better too, which is great. So we just did 2 warm-up sets here, going into our one and only working set here actually on the lying ham curl. We have 2 working sets on the seated hamstring curl here in a bit. So up the weight by 10 pounds from where I did last time, just because my rep range was 10 to 15 and I hit 14 reps last time, and because it's one working set, that just goes to show that I have a little bit more to give, or can go up. Obviously that was to failure, but hitting 14 for failure on a rep range of 10 to 15, that shows me I can go up, which is why we'll be going up for this set here today by 10 pounds, see how this feels. And that's just more a good thing to take note of, because I wouldn't know that if I didn't track my training. And so tracking your training, especially if you're someone who's trying to build muscle, is super, super important, because one of the best ways to build muscle is to progressively overload, right? You have to be pushing yourself each session every single week in the gym. And if you don't know what you did the previous week, how the hell are you supposed to progress yourself, right? So we know what we do, we track what we do every single week, every single set, the reps and the weight, so we know how to progress the following week. So it's exactly what we're doing here right now for the first working set. So, well, first and only working set. So let's get into it. Have a nice little tempo here, good control, good squeezes. Let's go. All right, so hamstring curl done. Actually felt really good. My hamstrings have been such a weak point in my physique for such a long time, and put a lot of focus on them here the last couple of years, say 2.5 years or so, and we brought them up a lot, which is great. So today's focus is not hamstrings though. It's actually more of, it's a full leg day, but trying to get a little bit more quad focus here, which is why our compound movement is going to be on the leg press. But with this movement, we are going to have one total working set here, but it is a heavier working set. And you can see from what I just showed you guys, it is banded as well. So we get the bands on both sides. Obviously at the bottom here, you're going to have, you know, the least amount of weight, I guess you could say. Typically not going to have anything resistance-wise from the bands, but as I'm pushing up, I'm going to get more and more resistance leading into that contraction. So it's a great way to really break down the muscle fibers here, but also keep me from going too heavy on the leg press as well. Makes my knees feel better, joints feel better, etc. So got to do a couple warm-up sets here first before we get into our heavier working set, because again, this is only one total working set here. So it's important when you're doing movements like this with only one working set, of course, that one working set going balls to the wall, but you have to make sure you prime yourself enough prior to avoid injury and those kinds of things. So probably gonna do about 3 warm-up sets before we get into our one working set. So we'll start those now and we'll go from there, and you'll see the working set here in just a second. Let's go. Oh yeah. Let's go. Yep. Oh. Alrighty guys, so hope you enjoyed the leg day. I actually just finished up getting all of that edited here. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, wanted to conclude this video with giving you guys an update on where everything is now that we are about 4 weeks post show. Just again, kind of game plan here, what we've been doing, what the game plan is moving forward, plans to compete in 2026, etc. So ultimately, though, as you guys know, if you saw the show day video or if you did not, we did get first place at our show day video on November 8th in my class, and ultimately was very, very satisfied and happy with the package that we brought to the stage. One of the biggest things for where my coach and I, our heads were at, was we knew that from a size perspective, I definitely could have a little bit more size. Obviously from a national perspective, but for the amateur show that's going to qualify me for nationals, we knew that we could bring a good enough package to the stage and allow us to accomplish that qualification that we need to go to a national show in 2026. So the biggest thing for us is feedback from the show is, number one, I need more size, which we knew we did, but number two, I need to come in leaner for that next show. But that was one of the biggest things for us, was we didn't want to push too hard with this show to lean me out so much to where then I risked losing muscle there at the end. So we basically brought the perfect package for what we could, and obviously we got the outcome that we were looking for of getting that qualification for nationals. We did not win the overall, which was unfortunate. I think the main reason why we didn't was just because I was not as lean as the guy that did win the overall. I definitely had him from a size perspective, but the leanness, he definitely beat me from a leanness perspective, and I think that's kind of what they were looking for at the show, which is why we did not take home the overall. But as we know, the overall is just going to kind of be the icing on the cake here, but we got what we went for, which is great. And so now we are again sitting, it's actually December 8th now, so we're essentially almost exactly about 4 weeks since the show. And we've been slowly, getting back into a rhythm and a groove here. Right after that show that next week, I did check-ins with my coach, and we made some changes, obviously, to the food. And I'll kind of bring this up here on my end so I can talk you guys through where things currently are. We got down pretty low from a food perspective. I cannot remember the exact macros off my head, but it was, I think our lowest point was roughly about like 2,100 calories or so right before we started feeding up going into the show during peak week. And now, right now, we are sitting at 3,165 calories. It's 345 grams of carbs, 65 grams of fat, and 300 grams of protein. And that has actually been the same baseline diet I've been following since that following week post-show, and that's what we've been on since then. And then training wise right now, we're training 5 days a week like we were leading into the show. But now that I have an actual home gym that I'm training at consistently, we made some adjustments with the equipment that I do have there and are implementing that into our workout schedule week by week, and training has been going absolutely phenomenal. I actually just trained this morning, hamstrings and pull, and progressed on almost every single movement, which is great. And the biggest thing for us right now too is supplementation wise, we're just cruising right now. I'm right now on 200 milligrams of test per week. And then here in about a week or so, actually, about a week or 2 weeks, I'm gonna be getting my blood work done, getting a full panel done so my coach can review that, make sure all of our markers are in a good spot. And then come January 5th, as long as everything is good from a blood work perspective, we are going to be going into a 20-week growth phase that's going to last from January 5th until May 18th. Funny enough, May 18th is actually my birthday. So we're going into a 20-week growth phase, and then as long as the growth phase goes as planned, right after that growth phase, we should most likely be going into prep for nationals later next year, where I will compete and step on stage again to actually get my pro card. Could I have gone and competed at nationals here? Actually, that's this upcoming weekend in Texas. I could have, but ultimately, and I think we do need a little bit more size. It's not a think, it's a need. We need more size to my frame. And again, honestly, could I have potentially gone to the show this upcoming weekend and got my pro card? Maybe. I think my physique is getting close to that level, but really what would have determined that was who else would have shown up to the show. I mean, at the end of the day, somebody could have shown up and been bigger than me and leaner than me. I still have some weight that I can accomplish in my weight cap, so we have more muscle that we can definitely put on here being in the amateur level right now. So there's more size that I can have, and so really what would have determined me getting my pro card at this upcoming show would have been if just nobody better showed up. And we didn't want to do that. Truthfully, that would have been another 5 weeks of prepping, and that's 5 weeks we're kind of missing out on potentially getting into a growth phase earlier. And so we decided that we would rather hold off from now, take the time to put a little bit more size to my frame, and go to nationals next year and just be absolutely lights out when we step on stage. So I'm actually really excited about it. Things have been going really, really well. My mental is in a really good spot. I did struggle, truthfully, guys, that first week and a half post show with food. I wasn't eating like an asshole by any means, but was definitely snacking on more than I should have, eating more sweets than I should have been. And it's just a very common battle that a lot of competitors deal with post-show. I mean, I haven't prepped for a show in over 5 years. I haven't been that depleted and that lean ever in my entire life. So coming out of post-show, it was definitely a little bit of a mental challenge for me, to say the least. My hunger, obviously, my appetite was through the roof, but things have gotten much, much better here these last couple of weeks. We've been very, very consistent with everything. And overall, we're in a good spot now. So I'm looking forward to getting our blood work done here in a couple weeks to see where things are and getting into the growth phase come January 5th. So that right now is just kind of a good update for you guys on where we currently are in our current phase and what our goals are coming into this next growth phase and competing next year. And I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with you guys as well. So, I'm gonna be doing a couple of videos here up until the growth phase starts, but we are going to most definitely be doing a prep series again next year. I'm probably going to do an actual growth phase series on YouTube, and then also do a prep series, like a road to pro, essentially on YouTube, and share that with you guys. And again, looking forward to that. So that's just kind of where things are, though. So that's the update. It's where we are currently sitting with everything, and just wanted to give you guys that information so you guys can follow along on the journey. But that's really all I got for you guys today. That's going to cap out this YouTube video. Feels good getting back into the swing of things here with YouTube. My goal right now is to get up 1 video per week over the next coming weeks. Probably same concept throughout my growth phase, because there won't be much changes happening, and I don't want to bore you guys with the same information. But that's where I'll come back to saying, please, 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 if you guys have any specifics that you want to see in the growth phase, whether that's from a food perspective, supplementation, workouts, etc., whatever that may be, please let me know in the comments. Would love to give you guys information that you are looking forward to seeing and give you guys content that you actually enjoy watching. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for the support, especially if you lasted this long in the video. I greatly appreciate it. And if you have lasted this long and you are not subscribed, would greatly appreciate it if you can hit that subscribe button and like the video, comment down below, and I will look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. And yeah, we'll go from there. See you guys in the next one.